Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to discuss about the overflow concept with respect to side numbers. And to understand this overflow concept, you should know how the numbers are represented in ones and twos complement and how the arithmetic operations are performed in these ones and twos representations. So I covered all these concepts in the other video. You can find the link of those videos in the number system playlist, which you can see in the description below. So let's start our overflow concept with respect to signed numbers. So basically this overflow concept is related to your arithmetic operations which we perform on the signed numbers or the unsigned numbers. So overflow is actually a situation which occurs whenever the result of your arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction or multiplication or division, the result does not fit in the original number of bits which we specify for our input numbers. So for example, let's say you have two numbers 12 and 8. And let's say these numbers are represented in 4 bits in unsigned representation. So these are the representation of 12 and 8 in unsigned representation. So after adding 12 and 8, you will get 20, right? And now here, if you add these numbers, you got this 20. Now here we have seen in the case of the unsigned numbers overflow video that this is the case of the overflow. Why? Because here this is the carry out bit which is generated after adding these bits. Okay, and this carry out bit shows that in case of unsigned number we have got the overflow. Why overflow? Because in case of 4-bit unsigned representation we can represent only the numbers from 0 to 15. Okay, so the input 12 and 8 they were okay, but the answer 20 that cannot fit in this range 0 to 15. It is like going out of this range. Okay, so this carry out bit is showing the overflow in case of the unsigned numbers arithmetic that we have already seen. Okay, so the meaning of the overflow will be actually same in case of unsigned numbers arithmetic or the signed numbers arithmetic. So let's say in this case, in unsigned representation, we have the input bits 4. We have the input bits 4 for both the numbers, but our result, it was coming in 5 bits. Okay, so overflow is a situation when your output or the result cannot be fit into the original number of bits. Original number of bits for the input was 4, right? So your result should also be fit into the 4 bits only. But here your result is not getting fit in those 4 bit. It is coming in 5 bits. Okay, so this shows that overflow has happened. Okay, so same thing will be happening with respect to signed numbers also that we are going to just see. Okay, the difference will be that detection procedure to detect the overflow, it will be different in unsigned numbers and the signed numbers. Okay, so in unsigned numbers, the last carry out bit, if it is 1, it is showing that we have got the overflow. But in case of signed numbers, we will be having some different scenarios. Okay, so let's see what are those scenarios with the help of examples. So whenever we are doing the arithmetic on the signed numbers, whether they are the sign magnitude numbers or the ones complement represented number or the twos complement represented numbers, there are actually two cases in which we will get the overflow. So what are those two cases? So let's say you are adding two positive numbers. So what answer you will get? You will get some positive number only, right? But let's say you are adding two positive numbers and you get a negative number, okay, while doing the addition of two positive signed numbers. Then you will say that you have got to a situation of overflow. Your result has been overflowed. Okay, so this is first case in which we can get the overflow. The same way, if you are adding two negative numbers, okay, so you will get a negative number only. Okay, but let's say you are adding two negative numbers and you get a positive result. Okay, while adding two negative number you get a positive result. Then you will say again you have got a overflow in your result. Okay, so in that case your result will be treated as wrong. So these are the two cases in which we can get the overflow. Now here important thing to note is whenever we are adding two positive number, it may happen that we can get the negative result. Okay, it is not the always that we will be getting negative number of always. Okay, sometimes we may get the positive answer also, then we will say that our result is correct. But if we get the negative number only, then only we will say that we have got the overflow. Same case lies with the negative number. Okay, so it does not mean that while adding the two positive numbers we will get the overflow always, or while adding the two negative number we will get the overflow always. It may happen or it may not happen. Okay, now leaving these two cases, what are the other two cases? Other two cases are whenever we are adding the different sign number, that is we are adding positive or the negative numbers, then we will not get overflow. Okay, this is the guarantee. That means if one number is positive, other is negative, or first number is negative, other is positive, then we will not get the overflow. Only overflow can occur in these two cases, positive positive addition or the negative negative addition. Okay, so let's see all these concepts with the help of example to get a better understanding. So here you can see we have the two examples. We are adding 5 and minus 6 and minus 5 and then plus 6. Okay, so I'll be representing all these numbers in the ones complement representation. So here you can see all the numbers are represented in ones complement that we will be just taking, and after that we will be taking the numbers in the twos complement also to understand the overflow. And whatever we will discuss, that will be true in case of the sign magnitude representation also. But for the simplicity, I'll be taking the representations in the ones complement and twos complement. Okay, so let's start with the first example, that is addition of 5 and minus 6. So if I represent 5 and minus 6 in ones representation, ones complement representation, so these are the representation. So if I add 5 and minus 6, what I will get? I will get minus 1, right? Now if I add these ones complement represented numbers, I will get 1 1 0. Okay, so if I add these 5 and 6 in the ones complement representation, I will get 1 1 1 0. Okay, so this is 1 and 1 0, then carry will be 1, then this will be 1 1 0 1, and here this will be 0, and 0 plus 1 will be 1. Okay, so this number is actually a negative number because the last bit is 1. So to understand it, I will just flip it. Okay, and this is actually 1, and this will be negative of 1. So here you can see my answer is being represented in 4 bits only, and it is correct also. Whatever I was thinking that I need minus 1, I'm getting minus 1 in 4 bits only. So here we have the different sign numbers, that is one is positive, one is negative number. We have no carry. No carry means we have no carry out bit. See, you can see from this 0 and 1 addition, I got no carry. There is carry out bit as 0 only. Okay, so in this case we have got no carry, and there is no overflow also after adding this positive and negative number. And I have also told you that while adding the positive or negative number, you will not get overflow. Okay, so now let's add minus 5 and 6. So I have represented minus 5 and 6. So minus 5 and 6 will give me 1. So let's see what answer we will get. So after adding these, we got this one, 1 and 4 zeros. So this answer is actually in ones complement representation, right? So in ones complement, as you know, the carry out bit that is generated, it is actually added with this result. So now I will get this answer. Okay, so this answer is actually a positive number. As you can see, this is 0, so this is actually 1. Okay, so here you can see this is my final answer, and this final answer is represented in 4 bit, and this is giving me the same answer which I was thinking of. I was thinking of 1, I got 1. So here also we have the different sign numbers, positive and negative number. We have got the end around carry, that is the carry out bit as 1, but there is no overflow. Okay, now let's take two negative numbers. So here we have the minus 3 and minus 4, both are negative. Minus 5 and minus 6, both are negative. So let's add minus 3 and minus 4 first. So the answer should be minus 7. Now after adding minus 3 and minus 4 in ones complement representation, I got this answer, and this one is actually the end around carry or the carry out bit. So I have to add them. So I just wrote these bits here, and then I added 1. I got 1 0 0 0. So this 1 0 0 in 4 bit is actually a negative number. So I flipped, and I got minus 7 in ones complement. Okay, so I need minus 7, and I got minus 7 in 4 bits only. So here you can see that we have this same sign number, that is negative negative. We got the end around carry also, but there was no overflow, right? Okay, so now let's add the last example, minus 5 and minus 6, and here we will see that there will be overflow. See how? So here I have represented minus 5 and minus 6 in ones complement representation. So if I add minus 5 and minus 6, I will get minus 11. Okay, so now let's add these numbers also. So I will get 1 0 0 1 1. Okay, now again this is the end around carry, so I have to add this end around carry, and I will get this answer. Okay, and this is a positive answer because last bit is actually 0. So this is actually 4. Okay, or you can say this is a positive 4. Now here we have got the overflow. Why? Because I have told you, whenever you are adding two negative numbers and you are getting positive answer, then there will be overflow. So here you have added minus 5 and minus 6, and the computer is giving you positive 4. Okay, so this is a overflow situation. So we have the same sign number, that is negative negative. We have the end around carry also, okay, and we have the overflow, okay. So here there are some important point to understand. Whenever we are adding negative numbers, -5 and -6, for this example, we are getting positive answer and we have got the overflow. But here we added -3, -4, but we got the correct answer. That means adding two negative number may generate or may not generate overflow, okay. So now let's see the same example in case of if we represent this number in 2's complement and we do the arithmetic operation in 2's complement representation, okay. So here we have represented every number in 2's complement representation and we have taken the same example. So let's see. So here we have first added 5 and -6. So I have represented 5 and -6 in 2's complement representation, and when I added, I got this all ones, okay. Now this one is actually showing me that it is a negative answer. So in 2's complement, first I have to flip them, okay, and then I have to add one also, okay, to get the answer. So this will be all 0, 1, okay. So here you can see this will give me the magnitude 1 and the answer was -1, okay. And from here also in normal mathematics I should get -1. I got the same answer, -1 here and -1 here, okay. And the answer was represented in 4 bits. So that means we are adding two different numbers. We have got the no end around carry also, and we also didn't get any overflow, okay. Now if we are adding this second example, that is -5 and 6, we are getting this answer in 2's complement representation, 1, 3 zeros and 1. Now in 2's complement arithmetic, you know that the last carry out bit or the end around carry bit is discarded, okay. So my answer is 000 and 1. So this is actually a positive number, that is simply 1, right? So I should get 1 also from the mathematics also, and my computer is also giving me 1, right? So we are adding different sign number. We have the end around carry also, that is generated, but there was no overflow, right? Now let's add these negative numbers, -3, -4, both are negative. So when I added them, I got 1, 1, 0, 0, 1. So this fifth bit is the end around carry or the carry out bit, and it is discarded. Now this 1, 0, 0, 1 is actually a negative number because the last bit is 1. So to understand it or interpret it, I have to flip it and then I add, okay. So I got this 0, 1, 1. 0, 1, 1 is actually 7 and the answer is negative, so I got -7. So see, from the normal mathematics, I should get -7. I got -7 also, okay, from my computer. And this -7 is represented in 1, 0, 1. That is 4 bits only, okay. So that means we are adding two same sign number, negative, negative. We got the end around carry also, this, but we didn't get any overflow. But in the fourth example, we can see we will get the overflow because whenever we are adding -5, -6, we should get -11. And here we got this 1, 0, 1, 0, 1 as the result. This fifth bit is again discarded and this 0, 1, 0, 1 will be treated as the final answer by the computer. But as you can see, this last bit is simply 0. That means this 4-bit answer is a positive answer, right? So this positive answer is actually 5 if you interpret these in the decimal. So this is actually positive 5. So my computer is giving me a positive answer after adding two negative answer. That means this is the sign of overflow. I got the overflow, okay. My answer is not correct. This 5 is not correct. I should get the -11, right? So we are adding two negative numbers which are of same signs. We got the end around carry, okay, this one, and we also get the overflow, okay. So from all this discussion, we can understand some of the important things, that whenever we are adding two negative numbers, we may or may not get the overflow. Second thing is, if we interpret all these 5 bits as our answer, or let's say we convert them into decimal, then in 2's complement, first I have to flip them, okay, and then if I add 1, I will get 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, and this is actually 11. And because I am treating all the 5 bits as my answer, so this is -11. So in 5 bit, this number is representing -11. So I got the -11, but it is in 5 bits. So overflow concept says, if my original number of bits are of, let's say, 4 bits, okay, so my answer should be represented in 4 bits only, okay, but my answer is coming in 5 bits, okay. So this shows the overflow, okay. So this is the another interpretation. Now we know in case of 2's complement, the range is -8 to +7 in 4 bit, okay. So only these numbers can be represented in 4 bit in 2's complement. Now this minus 11, it is actually coming in 5 bits, right? This 5 bits, and minus 11 will come after this minus 8. Okay, so minus 11 is going out of this range. Okay, this is actually smaller than minus 8. Okay, so in this way also we can say that our answer has been overflowed of this range. Okay, it cannot be represented in this range. Okay, now here I want to tell you one specific thing, that is in some of the places this minus 11 that we have got is treated as that we have got the underflow. Okay, underflow. So what does underflow means? So this is actually like if we are getting this answer which is lesser than the smallest number. So in case of minus 8 to plus 7, the smallest number is minus 8, and we got the lesser number than minus 8. So we said ki, okay, this is out of the range and this is like smaller than the smallest number of this range. So this is the underflow concept. And let's say if we have got the answer as, let's say 16, which is like greater than this greatest number of this range, then we said that our result has been overflowed. Okay, but in normal sense we can understand that our result has gone out of the range. So I will not be talking specifically about the underflow term. I'll be just talking about the overflow because the meaning is actually the same. There is no as such difference. Okay, so we saw in ones complement or the twos complement, the meaning of the overflow is same. Now we have added the two negative numbers. Let's add two positive number also, and let's see the overflow. So here we are adding 3 and 6 in ones complement also, in twos complement also. So this first example I will represent in ones complement, and the second example I will represent the numbers in twos complement. So when we represented these numbers in ones complement, I got these representation. So I should get 3 plus 6 as 9, and I am getting this answer. So here you can see this one is telling me that this answer is actually negative. So that means this answer will be this one, and this is actually 7, that is minus 7. So here we have got the overflow. Why? We are adding two positive number 3 and 6, and we are getting negative answer. Okay, so this is the clear sign of the overflow. Okay, now in another sense you can understand this overflow as like this. In 4-bit ones complement representation, we have the range minus 7 to plus 7. This we have already discussed in the previous videos. But my answer, that is 9, is not being represented by the computer in the correct way. Okay, it is giving me simply minus 7. You can say this 9 is actually out of this range, minus 7 to plus 7. This 9 is coming something here. Okay, so you can say 9 result has been overflow out of your range. Okay, so this is the another meaning of the overflow. Now let's see in the case of twos complement. So in the case of twos complement, my representation will be this one, and here you can see the positive number are being represented in the same way in ones complement or in the twos complement. Okay, now if we add, we should get simply 9. Okay, as we know. Now when we add it, we got this one. Now in twos complement, I have to interpret. So this one is telling me this is negative number, so this will be this one, and then in twos complement, to interpret it, I have to do this thing. So this is telling me that this is a 8, and this one is telling me that this is a negative. So I got minus 8 by the computer after adding 3 and 6. So again I got a negative answer after adding two positive number. So again we have got the overflow, right? So again we can see this 9 is actually going out of this range. Okay, so these are the examples that in positive case also we can get the overflow. Okay, so we can interpret overflow in the other way also. For example, overflow actually indicates that our result after performing the addition or the subtraction on any arithmetic operation is either too large or it is too small to fit in the original specified number of bits. So what does this too large mean? So as we have seen in case of twos complement addition just now, that when we are adding 3 and 6, we should get 9. But 9 cannot be represented in this range. Okay, so with respect to this range, this 9 is actually too large. Okay, this is greater than 7. Okay, the largest number that can be represented is only 7. So 9 is too large to fit in this particular range of the 4 bits. Okay, similarly, when we say too small, what does it mean? So too small can be understood like in case of the twos complement, we have added minus 5 and minus 6, and we should get minus 11. Okay, so this minus 11 is actually smaller than this minus 8. Okay, so this minus 11 is actually a smaller number than minus 8, right? So this minus 8 is actually too small. It is very small, which cannot be represented in this -8 to +7. Okay, so too small is actually signifying the underflow range, okay, or the underflow situation. Okay, so these are these like different interpretation of the overflow concept, but the main thing is the detection procedure for the overflow in case of the signed numbers is adding positive number generate the negative, and negative additions of the two numbers generate the positive numbers. Okay, so before going to the programming example, let's understand one of the important thing. The question is which logic gate I will use to detect the overflow in case of the signed number. And this question is very much asked in the GATE exam or the UGC NET and other competitive exam also. So let's say you are a CPU designer, and you know inside the CPU we have the ALU which perform the arithmetic operations. So ALU has to actually detect the overflow while adding the numbers or while doing the arithmetic operations on the signed numbers. So hardware wise, which logic gate, like say you have the, so hardware wise which logic gate you should use to detect the overflow. So example of logic gates are like AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate, XOR, XNOR. So these are some of the examples of the logic gate. So which logic gate you will use? So to answer this question, we should understand the property of the overflow while performing the arithmetic operations. So let's see. So here we have the all the numbers we will represent in 2's complement. Okay, so just for this example, otherwise everything will be same for the signed numbers, whether they are 1's complement or the signed magnitude numbers. So -50 and -43, if we add them, you can see we have represented in 2's complement. Our original numbers were of 7 bits, but this answer is of 8 bits. So this last bit in 2's complement is actually discarded. So we can see this answer is actually a positive number. Why? Last bit is 0. So after we perform this operation, that is subtraction operation, which is actually the same thing like addition. Okay, this thing only. So after performing this operation, we got a positive answer. That is, we added two negative numbers. Okay, so this is a sign of the overflow, right? Now after we add 5 and 6, both are positive numbers. So we got this answer. Now this one is showing that this is a negative number. Okay, so we got a negative number. That means again while adding positive number we got the overflow. Again if you add -5 and -6, you got this answer. And in 2's complement this bit will be discarded because this is the 5th bit carry out bit. So this is a positive number now because the last bit is 0. So while adding two negative number, I got a positive answer, again overflow. Now in the last case, while adding 5 and -6, two opposite sign number, here you can see I got this answer. So I should get actually -1. And here you can see this is a 2's complement represented number. So this should be +1 if I add them. So this will be 1. So magnitude I got 1, and this one is telling me that this is a -1. So I need -1. I got -1 in 4-bit only. So here there is no overflow, right? So now to actually understand this overflow concept, you should know the concept of the carry in bit and the carry out bit. So what is carry in and carry out? So carry out we know. For example, in our first example, here you can see this extra bit, this 8th bit is the carry out bit, which is generated after we perform the addition on this last column, right? And what is the carry in? So carry in bit is this carry. So this carry is coming from the previous column. While adding this 0, 0, we got 1, okay, because some 1 was coming from the previous one. So from here we got simply 1, but there was no carry. So this carry bit is 0. So this carry bit, okay, this carry bit which is coming in the last column, it is the carry in, okay. So same way here carry in is 1 and carry out here it is 0 because there was no carry out. So we can assume this is carry out bit as 0. Here carry out is 1 and here it is 0. So here in this 3 example, here you can see that C in and C out both are different. It is 0, it is 1. Here it is 1 and here carry out is 0. This is 0, this is 1. So in case of the overflow, you have deduced that C in and C out, they are actually not equal. On the other side, in the last 4th example, where we have got the no overflow, here you can see the C in and C out bit, they are actually same. So in case of no overflow, your C in will be equal to C out, right? So this is actually the condition to detect the overflow with the help of the hardware or with the help of the gate. So let's say you have a gate and you are giving the C in and C out as the input to that gate, and with the help of those input you should generate some output which will be helping us to detect the overflow. So maybe some of you have got the idea that which logic gate we will use. So yes, we will use XOR gate. So here you can see we have this XOR gate, okay, taking the input A, B and the output is C. So here you can see the property of the XOR gate is whenever we are giving two different bits or two different numbers as the input, let's say 0, 1 or the 1, 0, we will be getting 1 in the output. And whenever the bits are same, let's say 0, 0 and 1, 1, we are getting the 0 only, right? So let's say if we are giving C in and C out as the input in place of A and B. So whenever we are getting this 0, 1 or let's say 1 or 0, okay, 1 or 0. In both the cases, we will be getting 1 here because this 0 and this 1 are different. So I will get 1 and 1 and 0 are different. In that case also I will get 1, okay. So whenever this output by the XOR gate is 1, it means we have the overflow while adding the two numbers, right? And whenever these carry in and carry out, they are same, that is 0, 0, we will be getting what? We will be getting 0. And let's say they are 1, then also we will be getting 0. So whenever this output bit is 0, it means we have no overflow, okay. So with the help of this XOR gate, we can easily find whether we have got the overflow or not while performing the arithmetic operations on the signed numbers. So now let's understand this overflow with the help of a programming example. So here you can see that I have taken a C program, and here we have taken two numbers A and B, which I am adding and I am storing inside C variable. And all these variables are of type character, okay. So these variables are of type signed char, okay, because by default all the variables are of type signed. And at last I am printing this C variable after the addition. So you know the range of the signed char is actually this one, which you can see on the screen, that is -128 to +127. And why it is so? Because you know in modern computers all the signed numbers, they are represented in 2's complement, okay. So all these numbers will be treated in 2's complement representation inside the computer, okay. So if you add this 120 and 2, what you will get? You will get 122, okay. And 122, as you can see on the screen, this will come inside the range of the character because character is of 1 byte, okay. So if I run this example, I will get the correct answer 122, okay. Adding two positive number, I got a positive answer and this is correct. So there is no overflow as of now. But let's say if I add, let's say bigger number, okay, or let's say this one 120 plus 9. So 120 plus 9, I will get 129. But as you can see in the screen, 129 is not coming in the range, okay. The last number is 127, that is the positive. So here we will get the overflow. So see what my compiler will give the answer, whether it will generate a compile time runtime error or it will show some another answer. So here you can see it is showing me a negative answer -127. It is not giving me any compile time or runtime error, okay. But as you can see, 120 plus 9 should be 129, but I am getting a negative answer, okay. Adding two positive answer, I am getting negative answer. So this is a clear sign of the overflow, okay. That means my answer is wrong. The same way you can do something like if you are adding two negative numbers, okay, -120 and -9, okay. So you should get -129, but your computer will give me some different answer. So you can see I will get a positive answer, okay, adding two negative answer. So this is the sign of the overflow. Now similarly in the another example, here I have taken the example of the short int. Short int is of 2 byte in my this computer. So here on the screen you can see the range of this 2 byte number is actually this one, okay. And the range in 2's complement representation, all the numbers are in 2's complement. So here you can see if I add this number 32760 and 9, okay. So both are the positive answers or the positive numbers actually. So if I add them, what I will get? I should get the sum of these numbers. But you can see on the screen, these answers will not fit. This answer inside the C will not fit in 2 byte or the you can say 2's complement representation according to this range. So if I run this, you can see I am getting negative answer, okay. Again adding two positive answers, okay. So this shows that we have got the overflow, okay. But let's say if I add some smaller number, okay, this is the smaller number 3760 plus 9, I will get 3769, which is actually coming in this range. So then I will get the correct answer, okay. Then there is no overflow. So here you have seen that the in programming how we can get the overflow, and in overflow we will get actually the wrong answer. So there are different mechanisms to deal with this overflow that I am not discussing here, that I will discuss in the separate video. So now the question is why the compiler is not giving the like some compile time or the runtime error. What actually the compiler do to represent these answers? It is giving me some answers, although wrong, but how these answers come inside the computer. So let's say you are having 8-bit, and in 8-bit 2's complement representation for the signed number, we have the range -128 to +127, as you know. Let's say you are adding 127 and 1. Okay, so result of this will be 128. Now 128 is going out of this range. Okay, so what will happen? The compiler will actually circularly rotate and it will give you this answer. Okay, as you can see in the programming example also, after adding 128 plus 1, this positive answer, you will getting negative answer, so you will get this answer. And let's say if you added 127 and let's say 2, you will get 129. So compiler do this thing, that is, it will circularly rotate and it will give you this answer. So one lesser number than 128, or let's say one previous answer was this 127, so you will get -127 instead of 129 after adding 127 and 2. Okay, so this way you will get this answer. The same way, let's say if you are adding -128 and let's say -1, so you should get -129, but compiler was giving you some positive answer. Why? Because 129 or -129 was coming here. So now it will go to the positive range. So it will go inside the range, and inside the range, this is the largest number that can be fitted, 127. So instead of -127, you will get 127 by the compiler. So this is the way the compiler actually tried to represent the number within the range, but they will be like overflow. So yeah, this was all about the overflow with respect to signed numbers arithmetic. So if you have any question, comment, suggestion, please write down into the comment box. And if you have not understood any of the thing, please write down into the comment box and I will answer them. So please like and share this video, subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for further notification of the other videos. You can find the other videos of the number system in the number system playlist in the video description below. So in the upcoming videos, we will be seeing about the floating point number representation and some of the advantage and disadvantage of this 1's complement different representation, sign magnitude 1's and 2's complement representation. Okay, so see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.